Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tabletop Recall, the top 10 games of 2025, which I just realized I'm not calling it that anymore. I want to change the name to Board Games of the Month, Tabletop Recall for April 2025. My name is Ruel Gabriel. So happy to be here. Thank you for joining me today. Hello, James. Variant Hex is lurking. And Foglight. Hi, Foglight. I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a crazy week and a half, maybe 2 weeks for me. Just all kinds of stuff going on. I hope your last 2 weeks have been fine. If you were here last week, we had a great time playing Clash of Corgis with Bonzinator. Shout out to Bonds again for joining me and also for hanging out with our pugs, Mookie and Meeple, who Mookie, man, he is just I don't know, he has whenever we have guests over, Mookie goes a little crazy. And Meeple's chill, but Mookie, he loves people and he loves being around folks, but he expresses himself in the barkiest way possible. And thankfully, Bonds is a dog person, so was able to handle hanging out with Mookie. So I told Mookie, it's like, Mook, we can't have people come over if you're going to act like this. And I don't know how he's going to act, but he's a good boy. Meeple is a good girl. And you all are amazing for hanging out with me today. We've got a great show today. I'm talking about the games that I played last month, and also I'm going to highlight some of yours as well, favorites especially. And I meant to do this 2 weeks ago. If you're a regular here or even a semi-regular, you know that I usually do this at the start of the month. Right when May starts, I look back at April. When June starts, I look back at May, etc., etc. But the first weekend, the first Monday of this month, I wasn't feeling well, so I just canceled that one. And then last week, I was going to do it, but we had a sponsored stream with Clash of Corgis and Bonds. So I'm taking today to look back at the games of April 2025 with you all fine folks. And if you'd like to, drop your favorites from last month in the chat. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, I'd love to see what you're enjoying recently. Drop them in the comments below. Magic Eric's in the house. Hi, Magic Eric. I was talking about crazy weekends. I do want to shout out one of the crazy bits was actually a really good bit. Yesterday was a long day for me. I had to drive out to see my brother and his family because my niece graduated from college. Huge day, super exciting, and it was just going out there doing the graduation thing. Very long day, but super excited. Shout out to my niece. I'm so proud of you, and I love you. And yeah, the future is bright, folks. Hey, let's Denix is in the house. Hi, Denix. Good to see you. I've got pretty much everything set up here. Again, I'm going to be going through the games that I enjoyed last month. I'll be ranking them. But I would like to hear again what you've been playing. Billy Pratt. Hi, Billy Pratt. Should we do? I'm gonna start with. Let's change things up. We're going to start with the games that you all played in the last month or so that you really enjoyed. And let's see. Billy Pratt has got... where is this? Okay. And sure enough, it's not working. Dang it. Well, you all know my troubles with the featured chat program here. Let me see. Let me go to this part here. Filter. X that out. Pause. Okay. Oh, you know what I got to do? Okay, here. I got it. I'll do this. If you're watching live, hang out for just a bit while I do some little magic, and by magic means clicking the right buttons. And I see I see all the comments coming in. Appreciate it. Okay, pop that one out. And are we live on YouTube? We are live on YouTube. Yay, it's working. Always happy when tech works, right? So then I can do this one here. Long story short, for these features to work, you need to actually pop out the chat. Let me see, settings and pop out. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that one's not working, unfortunately. Come on now. Well, it is what it is. I'm just going to go with... Okay. We'll go with that. All right, cool. Let's go over here. Whoops. Oh, what is that? I got my mic right in front of my face, so I got to do this to go over here to manage stuff. Okay, well, that was working. Hey, I think we're good to go. Yes. All right, cool, cool, cool. So now I'm going to try this, and hopefully it works. Yeah, see, it works. IT Omar Hernandez is in the house. Hi, Omar. Good to see you, friend. Appreciate you. AB True. Hi, AB True. Okay, so let's take a look at this comment. Foglight went to a local con with friend Miranda and learned Cities by Devere, which we loved. Never had a bad Devere game yet. We also learned Super Sword 3000, which made us laugh and it was fun. Also Mini Park, which seemed to be good but didn't like. I haven't heard of Mini Park, but Cities, of course, I've heard. Phil Walker Harding, praise be. And Super Sword 3000, I've heard of that. So I'm glad it made you laugh and it was fun because I've heard good things about that, but I've not played it yet. Thank you, Foglight. Chat is working. Okay, so the other comments didn't show up just because it took me a little while to fiddle with this. So we're good to go. We're hanging out, and I am going to. I hope this works where I can save comments. But hey, you know what? If you haven't already, join the Discord, because over the Discord, what I do is every month I ask what games you've enjoyed. And by the way, thank you, IT Ormar Hernandez, for subscribing. Appreciate you. There's my buddy Brudark Gratterall from the Dodgers. We're not going to talk Dodgers today because they've lost 3 in a row. They got swept by the Angels. Boo-hoo. And boo earns. I was saying, if you haven't already joined the Discord, please. And you can, every month, you can put your games in there. And then what I do, I just copy and paste, and I'll be able to highlight them here. So. No, Magic Eric, no worries. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna pull them from the Discord right now, and I actually have those already here. So, wait a second. Go ahead and post. I didn't see yours in there, Magic Eric. I don't know why. Maybe I missed that one, but yeah, feel free to share here. We're playing loosey goosey as always, and I just see D-Nix put theirs in. So why don't I open up Discord? That's what we'll do. By the way, if you're watching us at BGG, thank you for hanging out. My name is Ruel. I do this every month where I talk about the games that I enjoyed in the last month. I actually rank them Rahdo style, but I also highlight games that you all have played as well, because I like to see what everyone's playing, and y'all give me some good suggestions, and other ones I want to see if we agree or disagree. It's all fun and friendly here, folks. We do this every month at the start of the month, but I had to postpone it this month because of other things going on. But also, every Monday I stream here. BGG kindly hosts the show 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific every Monday morning. And I do different things. Playthroughs, talking about games, ranking games, and unboxing stuff, all kinds of good stuff. And I appreciate you. Be part of the community by hanging out in our Discord channel. Once again, I'm going to drop the link one more time for our Discord. It is a family-friendly channel, and we have a great time there. Talking about games, our fur babies, Legos, all kinds of nerdy, non-nerdy stuff, and we'd love to have you there as I get my drink because I'm getting tongue-twisted here. D-Nix, I'm going to get back to your games in just a second. I'm going to get to everyone's games in a second because I'm just going to rattle off. I said, hey, we're going to change things up, start with y'all. No, we're going to go back. Executive decision. I'm just going to go through my games, and then we're going to talk about your games. And as we do, I'd love to hear your comments on the games that I've picked. And, if you've experienced them or if you want to play them, I'd love to hear that. All right. Popping in a little mint right now, and we're going to get going. I am going to do the whole YouTube intro because I will edit this a little bit. I'm learning DaVinci Resolve, folks. Yes, slowly but surely, I'm learning how to edit. It is not my skill set at all, but I want to learn I love learning new things, and editing it's a whole different skill for me. So I've got the very, very super basics right now. I'm excited about that. Okay, so here we go. Hi, friends. My name is Ruel Gaviola, and today we are doing the Tabletop Recall. What's the Tabletop Recall? I'm glad you asked, Ruel. That's where I talk about the games I played in the previous month, in this case for April 2025. And I do this live on Twitch and YouTube, and viewers hang out with me. We also talk about the games that they played, and I'll highlight comments as we go along, talking about games that I enjoyed you enjoyed and everyone else enjoyed or not enjoyed, unenjoyed, not enjoyed, whatever the term is. We're going to talk about all the games today, folks, and thank you again for joining me. So, kicking things off, so I played 15 different games last month. A little bit of light. No, I feel like I've been light, doing not as many plays recently, just because it's been a crazy time in my life, and I hope your life's been going well. But I always make time for games, of course, and again, I've been very fortunate to come across some really cool ones. And the first one I'm going to highlight, let me get this on the screen here in just a second. Where is that? Okay, this is here. So I'm going to rank them 15 to number 1. And the first game we're going to talk about is Tic Tac Trek. Tic Tac Trek. Yeah, that's how you say it. This is a game that is not on screen right now because I need to put it on screen just like this. Where it is. There it is. Tic Tac Trek. This is a game from Alley Cat Games, who sent me a copy. So thank you, Alley Cat, for doing that. This is tic-tac-toe. And what's funny is, this is not the last tic-tac-toe game I'm going to be talking about. Is tic-tac-toe primed to make a comeback in the board game world? I don't know. It's just funny how things work out sometimes. This is 2 players, and it's tic-tac-toe, but with a little area control to it, which is really interesting. It's a tile laying game, so you reach in the bag of little tiles. Now, this is I want to make sure that this is not a full-size game. This is literally a almost like a mint tin game. It's think of like a Mentos box, slightly bigger than that, and that's all it is. So these are really tiny tiles that you're gonna have, and you pull it out of a small bag that they give you, and you place it down on the table. You're going to be X or O. So if I'm the X, each tile has an X and an O side. If I'm X, then I will put on the X side, etc., etc. What's up, Roland Reggie? So as you put these down, you must put them next to a color that's already there. So if I have an orange one, I'm going to put my X next to an orange X, etc., etc., or orange O's if I want to block. So you're just going to keep doing that. Now, there's a blue tile. There's 2 gray tiles in the game, which are wild. So anyone could be next to that. So as you get 3 in a row, tic-tac-toe, you put one of your markers there. You can see the little campfire marker. So it's this wilderness theme. It's nature themed, of course. And you put those X's down, or the O's, depending on who you are. You put those down, and then you go until all the tiles have been laid out. And then you count. And this is what's really cool. I did not expect this, and I like this about this game a lot. The tiles that you play, or the X's that you play, so for instance, this one I'm highlighting here, this X on the corner, you're going to score points based on the number of empty spaces around it. So in this case, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 empty spaces, because you're going around sort of like is it the castle? I forget. In Carcassonne, the monasteries. You're going to count the tiles that are around it, so the total could be, was it 3, 6, 8 points? Here, you're counting the non-tiles, so the empty spaces, because you want air for the fire to breathe. So let's look at this one here, this O down here in this corner. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 empty spaces. That's another 4-pointer. Now this X right here next to it has 1, 2, 3 empty spaces, right? So it could be, anything diagonal or orthogonal. Really interesting game, much better than I expected. I'll be honest. I hear tic-tac-toe, like all of y'all. Okay, yeah, simple game, but I really like the twist on it that they did here. It's a very portable game, and it is a very, very simple yet a cool little area control type game that I really enjoyed, called Tic Tac Trek. Again, shout out to Alley Cat Games for sending over a copy. And let's move on to our next game. Now, have y'all, I'm sure everyone, well, I guess everyone's played the Flux series of games. This has been a series of games that's been around forever, Flux. And I have I'm sure y'all have your experiences with it. Sometimes I enjoy it, sometimes I don't. I don't enjoy it when it goes on too long. So I feel like it's crazy chaotic, and that's the point of Flux, right? The rules are always in flux, and I'm just gonna let you know my number 14 game this month, in the last month, was Mystery Flux. This is coming out, I think, this month, if it's not out already. I'm doing a short little preview video for it because it's a short game, and it's again, just like the one I just talked about, much better than I expected, which was a pleasant surprise. This Mystery Flux, you're just playing cards just like in Flux. You draw a card, play a card. That's it. And the rules change. Like there's some cards that change the rules as you go along. You know, what can be played, hand limits, different actions you can do. And in this case, you're trying to meet the goals. And that's in regular Flux, you meet the goal, you win the game. That's it. It can go on from anywhere from a minute to 20 minutes to, I don't know, I've never played it more than 20 minutes. And I feel like 5 to 10 minutes is like the perfect time for this game. But I wanted to highlight this game, and I thought, again, I'm going to say it's better than I thought because I didn't know you could play Flux solo. I was very interested in this. So it's the same game. You're still drawing cards, playing cards, changing rules. But now they have a couple of limitations as what you can do. And you're going to have 2 piles. You have a pile of, you know, your standard cards. Then you have your pile of, I think, goal cards or your rule changing cards. And in regular Flux, you can have a bunch of rules that change. In Mystery Flux, you have a very certain limit. So it doesn't get too crazy. It's still manageable. And of course, there are some rules that you take out of the game because those cards don't apply to a single player. And as you play, you're trying to get as many goals as possible. If you can reach 1 goal, yay, you win, but you get a better score if you can do more. And I was very impressed by that. I would not have expected it from a Flux game. I just assumed that they were, all the same party style games. But no, apparently you can play a lot of the Flux games solo. You go to their website, type in, whatever Flux you have, whether it's Mystery Flux or I don't even know what they are, Zombie Flux or whatever. And they have solo versions for these. They're all basically the same, but with some tweaks depending on the cards. So if you ever want to try Flux, give it a shot. I was very surprised about that. And that's my number 14 for the month, Mystery Flux. Okay, moving right along, we're going to number 13. Y'all thought I was done talking about tic-tac-toe. I'm not. We got another tic-tac-toe game, believe it or not. This is number 13, and I got this one at Dice Tower West from Chris Yee, who the designer. Also, you may know him from the Dice Tower. Chris Yee is really, really a great person, and he designed a game called Trick-Tac-Toe. What is Trick-Tac-Toe? I'm glad you asked, Ruel. Trick-Tac-Toe is Chris's version of a trick-taking game mashed up with tic-tac-toe. Again, I did not expect this to be this fun. It's a really terrific game. It's a 2-player game, and it's a stripped-down deck of cards. So it's basically, I think, 2 through 10, and then you have the ace. The ace is the high, and then the way the deck is built up, there's red cards, there's black cards, so certain ones cancel each other out, other ones are high, the ace is the trump, I believe, but then depending on like if it's red or blue, or red or black, I forget which ones are higher or whatever, but you just play tricks with another person, one player, and whoever wins that trick gets the option to put one of their cubes where this marker is, and you're trying to get tic-tac-toe. That's it. It's so clever and such a cool little design. I had to shout out Chris. Now, he just self-published this for the indie game market that they're having at a lot of conventions now. And it's such a great idea where designers produce a very limited number of their games, usually handcrafted, right? So Chris maybe had 50 copies of this, if even that, maybe 25. And I, thankfully he was kind enough. I messaged like, hey, if you have any more, I would love this because I got in town late to the convention, and he's like, hey, I just happened to save a few. You got one. I was like, thank you. So I think he only charged me like $5. It's some ridiculous amount. It was awesome though, but really fun game. I was very surprised. Again, are we seeing a renaissance in tic-tac-toe games? I mean, I'm not a fan of tic-tac-toe, but I'm a fan of taking tic-tac-toe, whether it's with tic-tac-trek, with the tile placement area control, or trick-tac-toe with trick-taking and tic-tac-toe. I'm all about it, folks. I think it's really cool. And trick-tac-toe, I don't know. I felt sort of funny talking about this game because it's not available. Maybe if you're really super nice, message Chris. I cannot guarantee. I mean, I shouldn't say, well, don't bother him, but if he has copies, maybe reach out, ask if he has copies. But it was really cool. Very, very, I was very pleasantly surprised by this. And Foglight, I agree. I like alliteration, so this is good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of alliteration. If I could say the word, alliteration. Yeah. Hey, let's move on to my number 12 game of the month. We've got a game that I played over at Critical Hit Games. This is a friendly local game store in Corona, California. I do streams there every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific from the store. I also stream for the channel on my own from home. But number 12 is a game that I was very curious to play because it has a really cool look and vibe to it. This is a game called Hi-Fi from Smirk and Dagger Games. Shout out to them for sending over a copy. Here's where I'm playing it at Critical Hit Games with my friend Yvonne. She joined me this night. This is a set collection game, and I love the aesthetic to this. Right, you've got the turntable there, and you're going to move that. It's action selection as you're trying to select different actions. You are set collecting, but you're also doing this really neat sort of spatial thing where you're going left to right on the board there, and you're trying to line up similar beats and waveforms, the colors, the genres of music, trying to get that because you're building songs, right? So the songs have different elements to it. Really cool. I was very impressed by the presentation of this. And there's Yvonne selecting the actions there. You literally move the turntable, which I like. Now, there's a game I'm going to be previewing really soon here called DJ Icon. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, this looks like DJ Icon, but two totally different games. And I think they both deserve a place in the collection, if in your collection, if for anything else but the presentation. If you're like me, old school vinyl head, well, I don't know if I'd be called a vinyl head. I enjoy vinyl. I still have my very small collection of vinyl here. I don't have a record player, unfortunately, and I don't have a turntable. But if you are a turntable fan, this one and the upcoming DJ Icon, I can highly recommend. Very cool, very accessible. I think both games are very accessible as far as gameplay. I don't know. They're both more thinky than I thought they would be, and I think I believe that's attributed to the fact that yes, you're just collecting these certain things, but the way you place them here is really trickier than I expected, and I really enjoy that. It's not a brain burner by any means, but a very accessible puzzle type of game, and that is Hi-Fi from Smirk and Dagger. Shout out to Kurt and the team for the copy. And we're going to move on to my number 11. This is a solo game that I recently played. And I know a lot of folks in chat in the Discord are big fans of Button Shy games. And I am too. And this one is number 11, A Nice Cuppa. Folks, if you'd like to relax and take a little time off from your worries, A Nice Cuppa is there for you. And that's the whole theme of the game, is dealing with life's craziness by enjoying a nice cup of tea. And here, just like on the other Button Shy games, 18 cards. That's all it is. And here, oh, by the way, this is by Scott Alms, one of my favorite designers. What you're trying to do is get the cards at the top, your T cards, in numerical order, ascending, right? I think it's 1 through 8 or something like that. But every round, you're going to have some worry cards that are below those, and those give you the actions that you can do to manipulate the line order. Now, as you manipulate it, you're going to add more worry cards, and so, as you can see there, I'm triggering each action left to right, and that's really fun. Yet another fun spatial type puzzle where you're trying to line up the numbers in row. And if you can, you want to also flip over the cards from, I forget, it was a worry to relaxed or something like that. And if you get them all, you get the highest score possible. Perfect, perfect day. But I do like this about this game. Even if you don't win, you've won by playing a game, right? And they tie that into the theme. Hey, relax, have a nice cuppa, enjoy the game. It's a solo game, folks. You can play it cooperative, but I don't see why you couldn't. If you and your partner or a fellow player just want to try to solve it out, there it is. Again, very super simple game. The memory element, I think is there a memory element to this? I can't remember if there is. No, so the memory element is trying to figure out, if you can. Now, not all the actions are going to be in every game, but you do come across, you're going to get to know some of the actions and, the best way they can go or be used. So, unlike Scott Alm's fishing game, I forget the name of that fishing game, God, talk about memory games. I'm not good at them because I can't remember. But the fishing game, I like the mechanism of manipulating the cards, like in Nice Cuppa. But that one, the fishing game, was more memory based, where this one is not memory based like the fishing game. That's why I like this one. And it makes sense. Like it's thematically, I think it's for the fishing game, it sort of makes sense because when you're fishing, you want to remember where the good spots are with the fish. Whereas a Nice Cuppa, you don't want to worry about that. You just want to enjoy your tea. So, number 11 this month is a Nice Cuppa from Button Shy Games, who sent me over a copy. Thank you, Button Shy Games. Moving right along, we've got a game that I've enjoyed for many years. And I was very thrilled to share this with my co-host at Good Morning Society, Becca Scott. Number 10, The Whatnot Cabinet. Yes, this is another brilliant game from Dr. Steve Finn. Steve Finn does games like Herbaceous and Floriferous and the Whatnot Cabinet, where you are taking a trip along the beach, collecting little curios for your cabinet at home, shells and little maybe like a little vase that you found, and all kinds of whatnot things, right, for the Whatnot Cabinet. And you do this by a really cool action selection system. It sort of reminds me of King Domino as far as like turn order. So you want to go first to get the best action, but you maybe want to go later, or I mean, you want to go first to get the first action next turn, but then the action you want maybe this turn is later in turn order. So you take actions for a two-player, 2 actions per turn, and then where you take those actions, you're going to slide up the pieces, and that's where you're going to take the action for the next turn, or your choice, either first, second, third, or fourth. Really cool, and we are big fans of Tile Lane, and this one does that puzzly thing of like, you want the similar puzzle or similar pieces going across, similar colors going up and down, or vice versa. And then you have the special goals for every game. Those change, so the objectives. And then you have the scoring that you can do, extra scoring, like little, I think they're crowns on certain tiles. It is so good, folks. And I remember talking to Becca afterwards. She was really impressed by this. And a lot of the games that I bring to our jacked up matchups, because those are typically 20 to 30 minute games. And she's been really surprised by how much depth these type of games have, right? So, usually you think 15, 20, 30 minute game, it's going to be super light and, just something to fill time, right? A quote unquote filler game. But I embrace that. I want games that are 20, 30 minutes long, because they're easier to get to the table, usually easier to travel with, and I get to play more games in a specific amount of time. But I want games that are giving me really good decision points, just like the Whatnot Cabinet and other games by Dr. Finn. And also, I'm thinking games like the Tiny Epic series, games that are small box, but big in gameplay, folks. So, number 10, the Whatnot Cabinet, an excellent game. All right, we're moving on to our number 9. Now, let's see. We've talked about some Tile Lane. We've talked a solo game. Let's talk about another solo game, but this time, no Tile Lane whatsoever. This is a roll and write, or specifically a draft and write, called, number 9, Rivage. Now, Rivages, I'm saying Rivage. It was originally a French name, so a French game. I'm assuming it's Rivage. If I'm wrong, apologies. Rivage is from Pandasaurus Games, who brought it over from the original French design team. In Rivage, you're going to draft, you can see it here on the left side here, cards that are going to give you ways to write on your island board, and a dry erase board and markers there. And you're trying to gather treasures and relics as you explore these islands. And when you draw the cards, you're going to draw 2 of them in the multiplayer game, from players on your left or right, and you're going to pick one, and that one you pick you're going to write using the top row only. As you can see here in the solo game, similar thing. I'm taking the top row here. I mark off my island, and then it's going to allow me to explore and get all kinds of point scoring opportunities. In the solo game, what's different is you're trying to get 26 points, basically, is the goal. But then you have other goals that you can do as well for the advanced game. Like here, I have to find 6 of this particular item. And also, in the solo game, it replicates the multiplayer game, a really good job of it, by you get a card or 2 cards you're going to select. And again, you're only taking the top available action. So in this one here, I'm going to pause. this card here that I'm writing on, I've done this top row. Now the second row will only be available next turn when the card comes back up. You will shuffle after a little while, and then the third one. And in the solo game, when all 3 rows are gone, you just discard that card out of your out of the game. You do have a limited amount of time. There's only a certain amount of cards. When those cards are depleted, the game is over. Now, I am going along this island here. You may notice I'm going to fill up that island pretty soon. Or I can go from one ship on one side to the other ship to the other side. Once I do that, I draw another map. So these cards here, there's like a couple of dozen of them. You're going to have a ton of replayability because each card that comes out is going to be different. They give you different bonuses, different ways to score. Very cool game. I was very impressed by this one. And as Rolling Reggie writes, I've been intrigued by this one. Just love flipping rights. I do too, Reg. And Ravage, I think, is one of the better ones that have come out recently. It isn't too, I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it's got a lot of nice decisions that you can make. And solo-wise, it works well. I knocked out a game in like 20, 25 minutes. You can watch my playthrough on my channel. And yeah, good times. I do love a good flip and right or roll and right. And Ravage is one of the better ones of recent times. And that's our number 9. All right, let's move on to number 8. So another one that I played with the Good Time Society crew for the Good Morning Society. And actually, this one was cool because we decided to go a little longer on Good Morning Society, do a little bigger game. And this is one, oh, where is it? There it is. This is the one where Amy Dallin joined Beck and I for the show. And it is our number 8, Crafting the Cosmos. Yes, you are in charge of crafting your galaxy. And this is the highlight right here for me. This really unique resource management part of the game where you're placing marbles in these little slots. And it's almost like a Mancala where you go 1, 2, 3, or 4, or however many you want to do. And then where you end up there is that's how many resources you're going to take. The other ones give you a different type, so it's like left and right side. One will give you left side, the other give you right side, depending where you go. And you use those resources to build the different parts of your cosmos. You see Becca, Amy, and I have our own little cosmos boards, which are cool. And you're going to try to connect them. Again, different ways to score through set collection. And this one, I said this before about those lighter games like Tic-Tac-Trek and Trick-Tac-Toe. Much more thinky than I thought. Is that how you say it? Much more thinky than I thought. More depth than I expected, and I like that a lot. Now, this is designed by David Gordon, who also designed ThinSpan. So, folks, David Gordon's on the rise as a designer, and I should mention. Full disclosure, I do have a business relationship with David Gordon. He is one of the co-investors of Play to Z, which is the company that we own together. But just outside of that, this game is terrific. It's from Office Dog Games. You can play it on BGA. We actually had a BGA tournament for our Good Morning Society crew, and someone took home a copy of the actual game. So, yeah, Crafting the Cosmos, folks, check out that playthrough to see how it goes as far as like resource management and using that really cool, I don't even know what to call it, resource board or whatever. Very, very interesting way to do that, and I like it a lot. And it's funny because I think we played maybe 3/4 of the game and we ran out of time because we had a time limit. And I remember right after we cut and we're off the live camera, Becca turned to me and said, "This game's awesome. I want to keep playing it." I was like, "Yeah," and Amy did too. So it's it's always fun to see out off camera how much people really enjoy a game. And yeah, Crafting Cosmos is a hit. Okay, moving on to number 7. This is one that I met up with my buddy Daryl a couple of weeks ago. We met for games, breakfast and games, and this one I had heard of but never seen, and really excited that this one lived up to sort of the mini hype in my head. It's called Intarsia. Now, let's go to the gameplay here. This is Steph and Michael playing it. And this is from Michael Kiesling, the designer of Azul and a bunch of other great games. This is very Azul-like, I would say. It's got, just like Azul, it's got a silly theme. I mean, it's basically an abstract game. But the theme is you're creating this like coffee shop with all the different parts of the coffee shop. And I mean, they're just tiles you're trying to place on here, and you have different goals that you can do. Is like who can race to be the first to have like 3 of these or 2 of those, whatever parts. Now, you have cards to play. The card you play is going to determine what you're going to be able to place on board, and then eventually you're going to start using this round track here. Those are more actions, which is really cool because in addition to what you can play through your hand and what you can place on your board, you do have individual boards. You want to time it just right in order to put your pieces on when you want them to, in order to take advantage of this, because going on this track here, this circle track, you're going to get more actions that you want to lay down, like certain numbers of colors or pieces, and you're going to build up. So as you can see here, it's like this, I don't know what kind of star shape, I guess. And then inside that, you're going to place one piece. And then inside that, you're going to place a round piece. And then if you can, you're going to place a little, it looks like a little table, round table that is, you've completed that part of your cafe. Really cool. Very, I don't know. I think it's more involved than base game Azul. Not quite as involved as other Azul versions, but this is definitely a step up from Azul. Now, I don't know why it didn't take off as much. Daryl and I talked about this. I feel like from Azul, it's probably, I don't know, a step up, but it's also a little clunkier in the fact that you have all these different scoring goals. Whereas Azul, you just sort of like open the box and you're basically ready to play. Here, you got to do a lot more setup, and there are a few more moving pieces that I think it separates itself from Azul. So you can totally have both games in your collection. They scratch, I think, a different itch. I think if I had to choose one, I'm still going with Classic Azul. I just think Azul is one of those perfect gateway style games that's just really well designed. Now, Intarsia, I think, is along those same lines, but if you're a gamer, a veteran gamer who's looking for a new experience and sort of maybe you're burned out on Azul, I would highly recommend Intarsia because I think it scratches a similar itch. Did I say that earlier? Did I say it scratched a different itch? I don't know. Maybe I'm contradicting myself because I have feelings about this, right? I like it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it as well, and I would totally play it again. But I think it's probably on me because I'm sort of like I'm in my head. I keep seeing how much it's like Azul. But anyways, it's a solid game. It's my number 7, so it's definitely a solid game. Intarsia. Shout out to my buddy Daryl for bringing the game and teaching it as well. All right, number 6. This one you're probably familiar with, but it is new to me. And I missed all the rage, I think 2 years ago, Gen Con, when it went crazy. But number 6 is Disney Lorcana. Yes, I actually played a TCG, which I usually don't. But this one I had to give a shot. This one we were playing at Critical Hit Games. Once again, the live stream that we do every Thursday. This time it was me and Luis. He's across from me. You can't see him in the corner camera there. But he is across from me. He taught me Disney Lorcana. It's fun. I'm not going to lie. It's fun. He had provided the decks. Who did I have? Did I have Stitch in my deck, or did he have Stitch? I forget who I had, but fun TCG, lots of combos. I feel like it's definitely more manageable and more accessible than other, like Magic the Gathering or other, these type of card games. You're dueling, you're battling, you're bringing out all the combos, managing your resources. It's not mana in this. I forget what it's called. But really fun game. Again, I'm new to the whole TCG thing. I'm trying to get in. I'm probably going to be playing Magic soon. I played at Critical Hit Games. I played Lorcana for the first time. I played Altered for the first time. I played Star Wars Unlimited first time. I enjoyed them all, folks. I don't know. Am I going to be a TCG player? Maybe, maybe not, but I cannot deny the awesomeness that is Disney Lorcana. That's why it's my number 6 of the month. By the way, Disney Lorcana, I mentioned the craziness. Like 2 years ago at Gen Con, folks were the lines were insane. People were just being way too over the top. And by that, I mean just being idiots. So thankfully, the hype has died down, and you can go safely get your Disney Lorcana packs at your friendly local game store, including Critical Hit Games in Corona, California. How'd you like that for a commercial? Hey, Time Roller. Let's move on to number 5 for the month. I've got a dice game. I love my dice games, and I love Yahtzee. This, to me, is the next evolution of Yahtzee. It's Pina Coladice. If you like Pina Coladice, do. Hey, enough singing for me. This is me and Amy Dallin over. She guested on Good Morning Society, and we played Pina Coladice. It's like Yahtzee. You are still rolling 5 dice, trying to get either 5 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, a pair, a full house, etc., 3 of a kind, etc., etc. But here's where it's different, and I love this about this because again, it's adding this spatial element to the game. You have the coasters on board there. Each coaster has a different combination. So one may have, hey, to place one of your pieces on this coaster, you need to roll 2 threes. Or to place a piece on this coaster, you need to roll 4 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., or 5 in a row. Others may have a total, like this coaster. You can only place a piece of yours if you score 21, 22, or 23. Or another one could be a total of lower than 8 or whatever. You place your pieces there, and the game ends when you either reach 25 points, or someone's reached 25 points, or someone's placed all their pieces on board, or, and this is the cool thing, if someone gets 4 in a row, you have scored the Pina Coladice, the game immediately ends. So it has this Connect 4 element to it. It's really fun. Now, as you're placing those pieces, I forgot to mention, after you score, there's certain points for each coaster. So I scored a full house. I place my piece there. I score maybe 5 points or whatever it is. Now, if there's a piece of mine that's adjacent, a previously placed token, my meeple, they are cocktail meeples, then I score an additional point. So if I have like 3 that are around me, I'm going to get 3 additional points. Again, the spatial element to this is brilliant, and it's still Yahtzee, but it's got a fun cocktail theme to it, and that just combination of Yahtzee plus trying to get 4 in a row, or trying to line yourself up to score extra points based on what you've already put out there. Really cool way to do it. I greatly enjoy this. Again, it's my number 5 because I love simple games like this. I've played a couple of different parties already. People really enjoyed it. And that's why it's the number 5 game for the month, Pina Coladice. Shout out to Hachette Distributors for sending over a copy of that, by the way. Moving right along. Number 4. Another game that I had played recently. Where was it? Dice Tower West the first time. I liked it, but then I played it again with the Good Time Society crew and loved it. This is number 4, Rebel Princess. If you ever play the game Hearts, the classic game Hearts, then, and I just, where did I put, here it is. There it is. If you ever play the classic game Hearts, you'll recognize Rebel Princess. Here is Bailey, Becca, Kiri, and myself playing Rebel Princess. And it's a trick-taking game, like Hearts, but got special abilities. So I love the theme of this. It's a ball, and you are Rebel Princesses. You don't need no prince to tell you how to lead your life or whatever. We don't want Prince so-and-so here. We want to hang out with our girls. And Rebel Princess has this really cool mechanism where you're trying to get rid of the prince, and it's funny. It's Hearts at its heart. It's Hearts. So you're trying to avoid certain tricks. You're trying to get certain tricks to score, and with the different abilities and powers, that's what really sets it apart. Each round you flip over like a new rule, and that changes things. And then also the power that you have. As a Rebel Princess, everyone has a different power, or what was I going to say? Has a different ability, right? So mine was Sleeping Beauty. I could do certain things. I think Kiri was Thumbelina, and I forgot what Bailey and Becca were. But we had a great time with this. Really terrific game. And Magic Eric says that there's an expansion coming soon from Bezier. Yeah, so looking forward to that. I enjoy this game a lot, and I think it's going to be one of those trick-taking games that sticks around for a while, if not forever, because the theme is fun, and just the gameplay is sharp and pretty easy to pick up, especially for someone if you know hearts. But if you don't, I think if you're new to the trick-taking genre, I think this is a pretty good one because it's pretty straightforward. And again, the theme really drives it in this one. Hey, we're doing this live. I want to thank the follows and the subscriptions. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, friend. It showed up, and I don't know why it didn't. Oh, Ditto. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated, folks. If you're watching this for the first time, we do this live on Twitch and YouTube once a week, every Monday through from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This week's show is the Tabletop Recall, where I talk about the games that I've enjoyed over the last month, and we also talk about the games that you enjoyed. We'll get to that in just a second. I've got 3 more games I want to talk about, then we talk about yours. So number 3. Hey, did you know I'm a big baseball fan? If you didn't, I'm a big baseball fan, particularly the Dodgers. I'm a huge fan of the Dodgers, and any baseball board game I'm going to be interested in just to give it a shot because I do love it, the game, and I do love baseball games. They aren't always the best. We got pugs barking. That means a delivery's been here, has shown up. So maybe there's more games at the front door. I'm going to have to check. This is my number 3 for the month, 7th Inning Stretch. I backed this on Kickstarter last year, and it showed up, and of course, I had to immediately jump in and play it. There I am wearing my Oral Hershiser jersey and my Dodger cap. 7th Inning Stretch is a solo game. I believe it can be played 2 players as well, but solo game's terrific. You're managing a team that is going to simulate playing an entire season within an hour. And yes, it is done like that. It's really a very, very cool way to do it, where you have your team. And I love the way the cards are set up. They look like old baseball cards. And baseball cards from like the 90s, 80s, 90s from Topps, right? Or Donruss or whatever, or Fleer maybe. I don't know what company. But they really do evoke that feeling. And what you're doing is you're playing mini games. So you're going to play 3 games, and that's going to represent the first half of the season. Then you take a quick break, well, the All-Star break, say, and that's when you get to trade. And this is where it's really cool, where you're going to trade players, sort of like free agents, right? You make that last-minute free agent pickup before the trade deadline. You're going to redo your lineup and hopefully get to the point where you can get to the postseason, because you're going to play the second half of the season, which, again, 3 mini games. They go by very quickly. It's a really cool blend of action selection and dice manipulation, because you're rolling dice, you're trying to get hits, of course, to score runs. And I'm gonna tell you, friends, I was really bad at this game. I'm still trying to figure it out off screen, because it's a challenge, and I like that about this. It's not just a simple, play my cards, I win, yay, whatever. I mean, I just want to win, of course, but I want a challenge. This is a really solid challenge. So if you win, I think it's 2 games minimum during the 6 mini games. Is it 2 or 3? It depends, because the second half games are weighted more. So if you lost all your 3 games in the first half, don't worry. If you win second half, they're weighted, so you get double the points. But if you can qualify for the postseason, then it gets even harder. And I like that, because it's supposed to be harder in the postseason. The best teams are there. So then once again, you can change your lineup and stuff. Very, very cool game. I felt like it captured the spirit of baseball really neatly. Now, I'm not the most hardcore baseball like simulation fan, right? Looking up charts and just trying to get all the averages just perfect. No, I want the gameplay experience to just be smooth and fun with some highs and lows. And I think 7th Inning Stretch does that in spades. It's a terrific game. It's my number 3 of the month. Is it better than Baseball Highlights for 2045? Nah, that's still my mount. That's still up there on the Mount Rushmore of sports games. And I should probably do a list of one of the best sports games ever, but nothing in my mind touches Baseball Highlights 2045. But for a solo game, 7th Inning Stretch, it's really solid. And for baseball fans, I think you'll dig it. That's why it's my number 3 for the month, 7th Inning Stretch. 2 more to talk about, friends. And for number 2, I'm going to one that I've liked a lot, but I've sort of rediscovered it. Thanks to different live streams that I've participated in. This one, number 2, is Unmatched. In particular, the Unmatched Brains and Brawn. So this is like Spider-Man, and I think was it Captain America? Doctor Doctor Strange, I think. Here it is. Anyways, Unmatched Brains and Brawn. The Unmatched system. Yes, just like D-Nix here in chat, live, love Unmatched. I do too. I'd forgotten it, straight up. I've forgotten how much I enjoyed this. But then I played with Reyna on Good Morning Society a couple of months ago. And then here at Critical Hit Games, Luis and I busted this one out. This was new to me, this particular set. There's a bunch of different sets that you can buy. And of course, they only had the IP for a certain amount of time. So I don't think you're going to be able to get the Marvel stuff soon here. So you got to be, you got to keep an eye out for that. Hey, Blue Heather. And Fog Guy says, I have yet to play Unmatched. Highly recommend it. One of those games that surprisingly you're going to get into it. You're going to be surprised at how much, I feel like you're going to be surprised how much you like it. And it's so good. It is so good, folks. Excuse me. I don't know why this comment keeps popping up. Sorry, Foglight. Is it this one? Okay. Anyways, Foglight comment keeps popping up. I don't know if I'm gonna. Yeah, D-Nix says so simple. The artwork is great, and the matching of all characters is fun. Yeah, agreed. Okay, I don't know why that's being wacky there. So I'll take that off for now. Unmatched, folks. So, very simple card-driven system. You play a card for either movement or combat. You can also do, I forget the name of it. There's a third thing you can do, scheme. So that sets you up. So you're moving to this grid, the board there, from one point to another. You have certain characters that are melee only, so you have to be adjacent. There are certain characters that are ranged, so you have to be in a certain area to hit them. There's no turtling in this game. It's all about combat, and it never feels bad because, these are superheroes. You're just fighting each other and see who would win in this battle. And what's great is you can mix and match from different sets. So one of my favorite characters of all time is the Little Red Riding Hood character. So I'd love to put her in against, like, say, Doctor Strange or Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my probably my favorite comic book character of all time. So you can match them up. You can also match them up against, say, like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, or classic characters like King Arthur, or even the urban legend Bloody Mary. And yeah, it's so cool, folks. Sherlock Holmes is one of the characters. And Rolling Reggie says, yeah, I love the little bonus abilities in Marvel ones. Agreed. And that's what made it for me, was just there's little tweaks that they do between sets, right? And it's still that perfect core element of you play 2 cards every turn. You do that, and then you move on. Now, you do not draw cards at the end of turn, which is great, because to get more cards, you have to play the move action. So you can move 1 or 2 spaces or whatever, depending on your character, but then that's when you draw cards. Now, there are other abilities that will trigger, like, okay, if I do this, then I get a card for free. Other things, so good. Yeah, and D-Nix is hyped, and so is Rolling Reggie for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I am too. Folks, no matter what game it is so good. I've played most of them. Probably my favorite, I also loved Deadpool. Deadpool character was a lot of fun. But so good, folks. Unmatched. It's my number 2 of the month. I'm going with Brains and Brawn for this month because that's the one I most recently played. But honestly, it could be any of them. So good. All right, one more game to talk about, and this one, I actually did a solo video for this, but this one I introduced to Becca as well on Good Morning Society. It's my number 1 game of the month. I am really impressed by Pandasaurus these days. So number 1 game of the month is Courtesans, and I want to bring up Pandasaurus because they're bringing over these smaller box games that are just amazing to me. Castle Combo, Far Away, Courtesans. These are smaller box games, and we talked about this earlier in the show about how these smaller box games, don't sleep on them because they can provide a lot of strategy and depth and not surprisingly, just awesome gameplay. I expect it now, especially for Pandasaurus. They brought over Sea Salt and Paper, another one. My goodness. In Courtesans, you're playing these courtesans, these royal figures, into either your tableau, down here, in this case mine, or to the queen's court here. and you're trying to decide if each character is going to be esteemed, which is up here, or down here. I don't know if it's not called corrupt, but they're basically corrupted characters, and you're manipulating it through the different characters. Some of them have abilities where you can move stuff. Others are going to give you, say, double the points or whatever. And at the end of the game, when you play all the cards, you see which ones have the most for each character, and then that's going to determine if they're good or bad. And then, depending on your secret goals, you do have secret goals as well. Maybe you want certain ones to be bad or good or a certain number or whatever. It's so fantastic, friends. Beck and I really enjoyed it. I found the solo version on BGG. Watch the video. There is a link to it. It works well. I was very surprised by how well it did work. Again, you're not playing against a character or another player, but it does feel like it because the way the AI works is very simple. It does, move cards to certain areas. Really, really like it. And why am I okay there? Magic Eric says Coruscant's almost feels like a social deduction card game. Yeah, because as you're playing them, you are trying to figure out. Ruel placed this one here, esteemed. Does he really want them to be esteemed, or maybe he's just throwing that card away? Oh wait, why did he place one in my tableau? So you have to, in this multiplayer game, you place one in your tableau, your own tableau, your opponent's tableau, and then one on the Queen's court, either esteemed or corrupt. Now, I will say this. I got to put a disclaimer on this. I've only played this solo and 2 players. I love the 2-player game, and I'm wondering how it plays multiplayer. I'm not sure. To me, it seems like it'd be a little more chaos. Whereas I think the 2-player game it really sings. It works really well. So I'm trying to check this out at more players, at a higher player count, because I loved it so much that it was my number 1 game of the month, Courtesans. Okay, that's going to be it, folks, for this portion of the show. Stick around. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about the games that you all enjoyed this month. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the edited version, I'm just going to clip that out, so we're going to go right into it. But live, we're going to hit the BRB seat. Okay, folks, we are back. Oh, why is this title all messed up? Why did I do that? Best board games of the month, tabletop recall. I don't know why it doesn't. We'll just put best board games of the month, April 2025. That'll work, right? Hopefully that's better. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back, folks. We're going to talk about the games that you all enjoyed now, and we're going to kick things off with. Oh, this is what I got to do. I've got to put this here. I just love when I talk about what I'm doing and you can't see what I'm doing. Isn't that great? I know y'all love it, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, Friends, welcome back. We are going to be talking about the games that you enjoyed this month. You just saw what I played, and I'm going to talk about the games that you all played. Again, join the Discord, and every month I ask folks what they played, what they enjoyed, and folks share there. I like to highlight at least one game from everyone here. So we're going to kick things off with AB Troob, a regular viewer of the channel. Really appreciate the support. As always, AB Troob. AB Troob played Applejack. Now, folks, I had heard about Applejack, but I've not played it. This one has got my... I've heard good things about it, but I feel like it's sort of flown under the radar. But look at the name, Uwe Rosenberg, one of the all-time greats, right? And it's a tile placement game, and I love his tile placement games. One of my favorites of all time is Patchwork, and this, it doesn't give me Patchwork vibes, but the fact that it's a smaller box game, it's right. It seems like it. And are you just growing your apple orchard? I don't know. I've heard about this game. I've not played it, but 30 to 60 minutes, 1 to 4 players. Weights, according to BGG, weights 2.0, so it's a little light, but I feel like BGG weights, the weight system can be a little wonky sometimes. But here you're going to help Applejack. Oh, is that the name of the character? Yeah, I believe it's Applejack and his daughter plant apple trees and harvest the juicy apples. So it's tile placement. You got me at hello right there with the tile placement. Let's take a little closer look. Looks like a different points that you can. I don't know if you're trying to match these up or whatnot, but I want to give this a shot. This to me looks like my type of jam. So AB Troop, thank you for that. What else did AB Troop also talked about Galactic Cruise, Scarbray, and again Applejack. Now, AB Troop said Applejack is the most un-Uwe game under the radar and is a good play. So right there, I'm definitely going to check that one out. Okay, let's move on to the next game, which was from our regular in chat and over on Discord, James Games. James Games highlighted Tiger and Dragon. They also played for the first time, played Crafting the Cosmos of BGA, and immediately went out and bought a copy. And this is another new game to James Games, Tiger and Dragon from Oink Games. This one I love. This was from Oink Games. I got my copy. I bought it at Gen Con last year. And it's funny because it's not, it's an Oink game, but it's not that tiny box that we're all used to seeing from Oink Games. This is actually a bigger box, but they still do a heck of a job managing to put it in a smaller type of box and just using all the space available. I love that about Oink Games. What I also love about this game, or about this game in particular, are the Mahjong style tiles. Just put them on the table, and as we're doing, Michelle and I are doing there, just swishing them around, shuffling them. It gives you that sensation of Mahjong that I love. But this isn't a Mahjong game. It's more of a it's like a number game. You're trying to play these tiles in order, as Michelle's doing there, and I match her or I don't match her, and you go there, and finally someone's gonna end up, winning the round or scoring points based on the different scoring conditions, which are up here. There are several that you can play in the game, and it's hand management, I would call it, even though they're tiles. Terrific game. Watching this video, which I just realized this is one of the last times I played it. So when was this? This was a year ago. After Michelle and I played this video, I know we played it a couple times offline. I don't know if I've ever played with anyone else after. Oh, maybe Daryl. Daryl and Oscar, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, terrific game. If you like Oink Games, definitely check this out. It's an abstract game, of course, but just the feel of the Mahjong tiles, to me, just that tactile sensation, Really, I love this about this. So, Tiger and Dragon. Thank you, James Games. Let's move right along to Variant Hex. Speaking of Variant Hex, we are just talking about them. Variant Hex brought up Orapa Mine. I never heard of this. And Variant Hex, they always have like a ton of games and a lot of games that I've never heard of. This one it's a deduction puzzle type game. And again, this probably wouldn't be in my wheelhouse, but the fact that Variant Hex brought it up, I immediately want to try it out. Look, it's trying to deduce. I'm trying to deduce what this all means just by looking at it. But it looks like almost like Battleship. And is that like you're trying to guess what your opponents have? Is this like Battleship with little symbols, little pieces? I don't know. But I'm curious. It plays 2 to 5 players, 20, 30 minutes. Okay. On the solution sheet, there's a grid of 10 by 8 cells. Choose one of the numbers or letters along the outer edge to shoot an elastic wave. The elastic wave travels horizontally or vertically from the fire position, bouncing off. Okay, this just sounds interesting now. Wow. So if it collides with certain colors, it comes out oh, interesting. So almost like you're mixing colors. Red and yellow mineral comes out orange. You remember that game Pastiche? That one was like you're painting and you're mixing colors and they come out different. That reminds me of that. But this definitely, I mean, just that idea reminds me of Pastiche, but the gameplay is nothing like it, right? So interesting. I wonder how they liked it. I'm sure. So if you don't already, please follow Variant Hex. It's called Board Games with Variant Hex. It's a podcast. Kelly and Aaron are terrific in it, and they always talk about what they play. Sometimes they do deeper dives in certain reviews. I hope they take a deeper dive into this, because I'm curious. Who's the designer? Johi Choi. Where's he go? Never heard of him. So, yeah, very cool. Another game that's been put on my radar, thanks to Variant Hex. Moving right along. Oh, Dinik says you track the path of a ball and how it bounces. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. Moving right along, we've got another regular, Dark Satanica, said they played a bunch of button shy games as usual. Nice. So easy to take with me and play over lunch. Agreed. Got a few player multi-games this month and some of the new games. And the one I wanted to highlight, or they also highlighted, was Skulls of Sedlick from Button Shy Games. Designer Dustin Dobson. I know this name. I gotta press find out what he's played. Links, games, ranks. What's his highly ranked game? Skulls of Sedlick. Rove. Yeah, that's right. Rove. He did Rove. He also did Battlecrest. Aweda, City of Umbrellas. Yes, I did a review and playthrough of that on the channel. So yeah, Dustin's on a bunch of cool games. Skulls of Sedlick. I've heard a ton of great things about this. I've not played it yet. This is a 2 to 3 player game, 20 minutes, button shy, open drafting, pattern building, and set collection. All stuff I enjoy. And I've always liked the look at this. Once again, 18 cards, folks. Button shy is brilliant. 18 cards, and they always somehow come up with terrific games. So this one, I cannot wait to check it out. Different formations here. I don't know if that's part of the gameplay, but there you go, folks. And it looks like it looks like they're double-sided cards, of course, as always. I love button shy games, and I love that Skulls of Sedlick has made it onto Dark Satanica's list for the month. All right, now another game I want to highlight. Now, several folks mentioned this in Discord, so this one's definitely got some buzz going on in the Discord. Stupor Mundi. This is from Nestor Mangoni. I know the name. It sounds so familiar. What has this person done? Darwin's Journey, of course. And also Newton. Okay, Shackleton Base. That's the new one coming up. This will be out this summer. Autobahn. Okay. So he's done a bunch of stuff. And Stupor Mundi is one of the newer ones here. This mechanisms, let's see, action, deck building, bag building, hand management. Yep. So it looks like a mid to heavier weight Euro, and I need to check this out. Hopefully, I feel like this is something that one of my friends would have. Definitely, my buddy Patrick would definitely have this. It looks pretty cool. Now, theme-wise, okay. Oh, actually, you're building a little castle there. Cool. I was going to say, theme-wise, it looks like another, like, literally Euro game. But look at that. You're building the little castle. That's cool. And it's this here. I don't know why this. I'm just looking at it. I don't know anything about it. It just reminds. It screams to me Stefan Feld. I don't know why I made Castle of Burgundy, but then all the different. It looks like different ways to score and stuff. So looking forward to that one as well, friends. Thank you for sharing. Almost several people in the Discord. Okay, finally from the Discord, we have DC talking about had a session Daitoshi, Deep Regrets, Teotihuacan, Endeavor Deep Sea, and Jaipur. They were all highlights in their own way, DC says. Also, a game I wanted to mention that DC highlighted was Dominion, and DC played at 4 players. So that's something I feel like I don't see enough of, or I don't play enough, is Dominion at more than 2. It's all, for whatever reason, I've almost always played Dominion at 2. But here's one of the times I played it multiplayer with the Good Time Society crew, Jake Michaels, co-founder, Amy Vorpal, Katie Michaels, and myself. We played online, and if you've never played the online version of Dominion, I highly, highly recommend it. Number 1, it's super smooth. Number 2, you'll have access to all the expansions if you pay for them. But also number 3, it does all the shuffling for you. Every day I'm shuffling. Remember that song? You don't have to do any of that in this game. The computer takes care of it for you. So I do love that about board game, digital board games, where cards or games that are heavy and shuffling and stuff takes care of it for you. Do I still prefer the physical game? Of course. There's nothing like actually feeling the cards in your hand or rolling the dice or whatever. But Dominion works perfectly online. It's a great game. You know, maybe the best pure deck builder out there. I have my thoughts on that, but it's definitely always going to rank highly with me. If you get certain decks, they're going to play differently, you know, either money heavy or victory point heavy or other things that you can, you know, mess with other players, others that don't. So good. It's still, I mean, Dominion is an evergreen. It will never go away, folks. It is a solid game. If you never played it, I definitely give it a shot. Even if you don't like it, you will know that if you're a deck building fan, you will see where everything basically originated from. This design has launched a million other games, right? It's been inspiration to others. I've talked about it here on the channel and other channels before, where I still prefer deck building as part of a larger game, a board game or whatnot. But if I'm just playing pure, you know, deck building, I do enjoy stuff that's a little faster in play, like Shards of Infinity. But Dominion, in its classic form, is still a classic for a reason. I think it's great. Still will play anytime. Rolling Reggie says, was surprised how much I enjoyed Dominion. Oh, just playing for the first time last year? Yeah. So Reggie, share, I don't know if you don't mind sharing a little more experience. I feel like that was my, when I got introduced to it, early on in my board gaming journey, I had heard about the game, and I might have been like, I don't know, 6 months in the hobby at the time, and I'd heard about it but never played it. And when I did, I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I played it a bunch, got out of it, and then as I played other games, Clank, Trains, Shards of Infinity, I always forget the name, but the one I really like with area control, it's like the D&D one. D&D, it's like deck building meets area control. I always call it like Blood Rage meets Dominion. God, what is the name of that? I'm going to let y'all try to figure it out. Well, maybe I should. Let me go here. What is the name of that game? D&D deck building. Oh, Quest for El Dorado is another fantastic game, right? Love that one. D&D deck builder. Tyrants of the Underdark. Thank you, Mayor of Canada. I just found it too. Yeah. Thank you. Tyrants of the Underdark is fantastic. Trains by Autorock, I do really enjoy, and so glad they stopped at 3 expansions. I never got the expansions. I was sort of bummed I didn't play them, but I love Trains. Michelle and I played the heck out of that one. Rolling Reggie, I'd rather play Quest for El Dorado. Yep, I agree. Wow, this comment thing is really funky today. Yeah, I agree, Reggie. I'd rather play Quest for El Dorado, or Doom Imperium, but Dominion has strong mechanics. And that's the thing. I think Dominion just on its own really does stand as, you know, just a solid example of what deck building is all about. Okay, I'm going to take off these comments because they're going haywire. They're going wacky. Okay. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments as well. Let me see if I can get a few more up here. What else? Successful Geek says my top two are, oh, what is this? Soviet Kitchen Unleashed, an older game. Oh, and SETI. SETI's another one that's been getting plenty of hype. I'm curious to play that. I'm supposed to play that with my buddy Daryl soon. Jake Michaels actually, he asked me to play it recently, but I wasn't around. Dominion honestly has almost an engine building feel. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, as you know, trying to get those victory points, trying to get that engine going. So yeah, again, I feel like that has been so influential, right, in things. Successful Geek said he's incredible but long. Yeah, just like opening the box, I was like, oh, there's a lot of stuff in this box, and you can tell it's going to be a long game. But hey, friends, I'm going to wrap things up because I've got other work I got to finish up today. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing games. I'm going to drop links in chat. Be sure to follow me on all the socials. And if you haven't already, please join the Discord. We have a lot of fun there, talking about games and non-game stuff. And always appreciate y'all hanging out. I really do. Thank you, Foglight. Hope you have a wonderful week, everybody. Tune in for the rest of my streams this week. Tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, I'll be streaming here from home, but to the Critical Hit Games Twitch channel. On Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, me and Becca, we're going to be doing Good Morning Society, beverages, board games, and shenanigans as always. Then Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, once again, I'll be at Critical Hit Games, actually at the store. I'll play another terrific game with Luis and Chris. And actually, I think we have a special guest coming on this week as well. So be sure to tune in out for that. I think we're playing Cascadia Junior, which I think, for folks, if you've never played Cascadia Junior, don't just dismiss it because, oh, it's a baby game. That's for babies, or that's for kids or families. No, yeah, it is. It's a scaled down version of Cascadia. But honestly, it works great as a filler game for veteran gamers. It has the Cascadia feel and somewhat of the puzzle, but in a streamlined, it's a fun game. I totally recommend it. Yeah. Mayor Ken said, "Bye, that's a baby's toy." Back to the Future 2. Friends, appreciate y'all. I'm going to raid. By the way, shout out again to BGG for hosting. Let's raid another channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. And be sure to follow me on Twitch and all the other socials. All right. Where's the raid button? I'm going to find it. I'm going to find the raid button real soon here. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's go on. Let's find out who else is playing board games today. Nope. Okay, board game category. Let's see if we any recommendations, folks? We'll take call-outs here. We do prefer to find a board game channel. Shadows of Brimstone. Someone's playing Shadows of Brimstone. Keyforge. Oh, wow. Someone's playing Keyforge. Invasion of Small Cubes. Oh, interesting. Okay. M. Peoples on. Okay, yeah. Let's go raid M. Peoples. Thank you. M. Peoples, where are you at? There you go. Okay. I'm going to start the raid. It's going to start in 10 seconds or so. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful week. Hopefully I'll see you on some of my other streams. If not, see me in the Discord. If not there, we'll see each other when we see each other. All right. Stick around for the raid. Bye, everybody.